Hey everybody, welcome to Into the Core podcast with myself, Linda. Super excited. Still back on the chair at me mama's place, and you know what? We're gonna do this. Um, did I say le casa le mama of my mama? That's how we rock. And today we've got an amazing guest. We're going to be talking to him in just a few, but as always, before we do anything, I got to get into it and I got to hit that button to do the intro. Into the core.
Get into it.
All good things in Africa and beyond. Into the core. Things in Africa and beyond. Okie dokie, Smokey. All right, so my guest is the amazing, the talented drummer, motivator, friend, and just amazing soul is Charles Lamont Garner. I had interviewed him earlier this year, and guess what? We brought it back in because I needed a slice of Charles, because I was like, okay, we need to talk about some really good stuff. We need some uplifting stuff. We need to feel motivated. So Charles, welcome back.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be back. Thank you so much.
Of course. So since we left off, we actually, let me do a pre-interview, intro to you. So
Okay.
Charles has been a drummer. I met him in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I want to say over 8 years ago, 10 years ago. Wow, yeah, okay. So 10 years ago.
10 years.
And he was amazing. He was playing at the Sheraton in Addis, and their band just kicked all over town. I just remember Thursday is just being crazy. And what I loved about his spirit was that he was always smiling, and he just had this very big embrace for everybody. And we used to be at the back yelling, "Sexual chocolate!"
Yeah.
And not many people. I just sold us. But
It was you all the
that was
time.
there was a couple of us. I don't want to name them because they're pretty big out
Okay.
there right now. They've made it. They're in the big leagues now. So yeah, and he has always been, and one of the things that really motivated me to even speak to Charles was that whenever he's sitting in his car, and I'm so happy you're in your car right now, is that you always part with some beautiful words of wisdom. So yeah,
Wow.
so happy.
That is ironic. Wow. Yeah.
It
This is a
is.
place. Yeah. This is a place of peace and solidarity, and I get a lot of thoughts when I'm driving, and I just turn the radio off and just think and speak. So, yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Oh, of course.
Glad to be here.
So you have been, you've been drumming for India Aire because there's a couple of people who were like, "Are you sure he does, or he did?" And I'm like, Jesus. So here he is now. This is him. That's him. So,
Yeah.
so that's the guy. So,
I'm the guy.
tell me, what have you been up to? I mean, of late, what have you been getting into during this time?
During this time, it's been a lot of reflecting. A lot of like, you know, I don't believe that things just happen. I believe that it's designed. I believe that God does things for a reason. You know what I mean? I don't believe that He intentionally wants to like kill people off and like because of disease and a lot of people dying around the world. Um, Not so much of that part of it, but the fact that everything slowed down and you had to like take time to spend it with your family, spend it with your spouse, your children, um, and really have time to get to know where they are. Because especially with my life, I can only speak about my life. It's constantly moving. You know, it's like moving parts all the time. If I'm not on the road, I'm in the studio. If I'm not in the studio, I'm on a set doing something. If I'm not, I keep moving. You know what I mean? So, um,
Yeah.
and a part of that is, just me. I love entertainment, the entertainment industry, and I'm a natural provider. So I have to like figure out ways to, make sure my family's good. Um, but God was just like, no, you know what? You're gonna take this year off, and just
Yeah.
reflect on the goodness of the people you have around you. Um, Learn how to pivot just in case anything happens. Um, what else? Just reflect. I think that's just been
Yeah.
the totality of this year for me. Just reflecting. I mean, of course, in between that, we've been doing things like with India, we do like virtual concerts, and like we did like the BT something and some other programs throughout the year. Um, so that was fun to be able to be home and just record from home and send the files and we put it all together. That was fun.
Yeah.
Um, but outside of that, just creating, and I was finally able to deal internally with my mother passing. And she passed 9 years ago, but I was
Yeah.
finally able to like slow down and focus and do something as a tribute to her when I released my single,
That was
Sweet
such
Pretty
a
Girl.
beautiful
And
song.
thank you. And it was in honor of her. And for years, I wanted to write something and pay tribute to her, and it just wouldn't come. But
Yeah.
it was like, it just all happened like in a week. Like one day, I think it was like a Wednesday, I wrote the song, recorded it, mixed it, and released it the next Wednesday. You know what I mean? So it was like really
Wow.
fast. It all happened in a week. But that wouldn't have happened if this was a normal year. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have happened that way. But yeah, that's what I've been up to, man, and just really thanking God, man, for everything. Like just in good times and bad times, He's always with us. It's just the peace of God, surpasses all understanding, but it will definitely guard and guide your heart and mind. You know what I mean? So knowing that and hearing that and being taught that is one thing, but experiencing that thing is a whole nother ball game. When you actually experience the peace in the presence of God and everything that He's told us and prepared us for, it's it's a different thing, and I'm just grateful. That's
Well,
all.
I think it's amazing how you said that, we've had to sit back, we've had to try and pivot ourselves, we've had to reflect, engage, be present with our families, even be present in whatever situations we have been in.
Yes.
I dare say that who I was in February of this year is definitely not who I am today.
Yeah.
And even with the passing, of my dad,
Mhm.
I don't know. There's better closure for me, but also the closure also comes from events that have happened and that have happened even to date that have
Mhm.
just allowed me to say, you know what, I'm just gonna focus myself on being faithful to God, not having any excuses in my life,
Mhm.
and trying to right whatever wrongs I've ever done. You know,
Yes. Reconciliation. Yes.
reconciliation, and just being very true to
Mhm.
myself.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, you can only be who you're supposed to be, and nobody can take away the plans that God has for you. Nobody can take away the drive, the passion, that has been instilled in us, you know. So those are some of the things that I'm embracing and paying attention to. I shed a tear, I think, 2 weeks ago, about something that I shouldn't have. And I had to leave that at the altar. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I had to go to
Yes.
God and say, sorry, did I do something wrong here? And
Yeah.
let me just leave it here with you.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
But that said, I have to say that I am grateful for maybe our I've used this before in many podcasts, but it's the rude awakening, you know,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
has been like none other, you know.
Yes. Yes. A
So
rude awakening. Wow.
the
Yeah.
yeah, I
At
feel
least.
like
Mhm. Go
I
ahead. I'm
feel
sorry.
like God did one of these and then was just like, one moment, please, I just need to, and we're like, ow, really? Were we taking it for
Mhm.
granted? You know?
Mhm.
But yeah, it's been beautiful, and
Yes.
I'm happy that we've had this, these kind of moments. So, as I'm talking to you, tell me about what you guys have been working on, right now. Were you able to hone into your school and what you wanted to do with the school?
Well, it's not a school per se. It's more so a just a summit, an annual summit
Yes,
that I'm
Summit, sorry.
wanting to do. Yeah, no, it's okay. Um, yeah, I put that on. I didn't put it on the back burner, but because of the way the year went, I kind of like pulled back on it because I want it to be more of a face-to-face thing. Um, and that's how I was feeling in the beginning of the year. And I understand that a lot of events like that has been going virtual and it's been successful virtually. Um, but I just really want it to be a face-to-face thing. So whenever it's safe for us to, be face-to-face again, I'm gonna relaunch it. But in the meantime, I'm just preparing for it. So it's certain things that I wanted to do that I wasn't prepared to do this year that
Yeah.
I'm just preparing now. So when it happens, it'll be much better than 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 I originally planned to be. So there's some more things I want, and then through this year, some more ideas has been coming um, to put into the next generation team summit. So I'm just looking forward to it just being even greater, hopefully, prayerfully, and we can get some people that I really wanted that has more time now. So hopefully next year they won't get super busy because this year was so slow. Um, but I just believe it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm so proud of you because even this year has probably put a little bit of perspective into how you really want to layer out the summit, who you want
Hmm.
to have on board, how you want to
Yes.
focus, how you want to, you know,
Hmm.
just
Yep.
push it out
Yes.
for the following year. And
Exactly.
how is what is the situation like right now? I mean, like, because I know for us guys, numbers are peaking again. Obviously, we're going through that second wave.
Hmm.
Have things kind of slowed down again in terms of work wise and movement and stuff like that?
And it's so weird because me and my wife was just talking about it the other day. It's like even though the second wave is coming through,
Yeah,
if people are really taking it as serious as it is, because it's like people are just operating in the same way they've been since it slowed down the first time. You know what I mean? Before it started to peak
yeah.
again. Like people are still out. They're still, just interacting like the virus is non-existent. At least here in Atlanta. I don't know how it is other places, but in Atlanta, it's kind of weird. I understand it to a certain degree, and when I say I understand it, I understand the the mental strain that it can put on some people to like be
Yeah.
locked in and to be, you know what I mean, to not feel free to like just do what they want, because they either want to or they need to, because some people can't be alone with themselves, because mental illness and mental strife and trauma and all that stuff is real, so you can't like disregard that and say just stay in the house, just get over it and stay in the house. It's not that simple for a lot of people, so I understand it. I understand that, but at the
Jake.
same time we have to be safe and we have to do whatever's necessary now so that next year can be safer. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how I feel about the vaccines yet, um, but because my wife is in, she's in the health field and healthcare, and of course, vaccines normally take years to develop, and the fact that it's happening. I understand modern technology and things are different these days, but it's just happening so fast. It's just like I don't know. It's just a feeling that I'm having. I don't have any facts behind my feelings,
Yeah.
um, but it just doesn't feel right. I don't know, but I believe in vaccines. I believe there's polio has been cured to a degree because of vaccines. I mean, there's many things that that's great about vaccines, but at the same time, when it's a rushed process, I get nervous. And when you have people that aren't um, in the medical profession and haven't been, but they're promoting it and they're pushing it and they're funding it, it's just like, what's the real agenda? Like, what's really happening here? What do we not know? You know what I mean? Like, you got
Right.
these multi-billionaires that are tech guys without naming. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, we
they're
know who you're
pushing,
talking about.
yeah, and pushing vaccines, pushing the medical process. What are you talk? Why are you talking right now? Like, you're not in the medical field. What are you talking about? Why are you so involved? You know what I mean? Like, what is
Yeah.
this really about? So that's what's scary to me. And and of course here in the U.S., and President Obama talked about it as well. But we have a history of us black people being the guinea pigs. The Tuskegee experiment and on, and the stuff that we don't know about. So we're always the
Africa.
first. Africa is always the first. They come to Africa and test and test and test and test, and it goes unrecognized. It's just like we can go to Africa and do whatever we want in these villages, and nobody would ever know. But but we
Yeah.
can use this data and say that we've tested it. You know what I mean? Never mind
Yeah.
the side effects that happen to all of these people. Never mind the people that died in the process. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a lot,
It's a lot.
but
Yes, it is a
it's
lot.
a whole lot. Yes, yes, yes.
But
So
you know
I'm a little
what?
scared.
No, I mean, like, and the truth is, the same way it has come in, the same way it has taken over, and the same way that we've sat back and we've had to, like, really look at things and be patient with things. I feel like that's also the other thing is the patience we now know. So there's precaution that we need to take because we know it's not that it has just happened and we should all be crazy and shook because now we've been indoors since February, March,
Hmm.
with the cases first coming out in, the previous year in 2019. But
Hmm.
now that we know, now that you have the knowledge of it, we have the power to make those decisions.
Hmm.
And the decisions to stay in, the decisions to protect ourselves, the decisions to say, should I get involved? Should I try out for the vaccine? Should I go and get the vaccine when it's available? And that's still
Hmm.
going to take time, where
Yes.
it's still going to be another year. And so that mentally, I feel like that's where we need to focus in on is it's not going away because 2021 is coming. It's still going to
Right.
be there.
It's still
And
gonna be there. Right.
it's still going to be here. And like, we're not going to wake up and everyone's going to be like, lights on.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
that was
gone.
just a test. It was just a test. Sorry, we're just messing with you. Ashton Kutcher, come out of the green yard or the green room, you know.
You've been
No, we,
punked.
you've been punked,
Yeah.
yeah. So now is just a time for us to just really figure out what it is that our futures look like.
Exactly.
And you know, mine right now is that I want to create hope. I want to create opportunities. I want to spread love, and I just yeah, I feel like I'm going the Diddy route. You know, call me love, because
Yeah.
I'm just like
Right.
I come in peace, people.
Right.
But yeah, so that's where I am. Talk to me a little bit about, you know, I'm going to take you back into the music scene. You know, you
Okay.
managed to put yourself into a record for your mom. You embraced it and and gave it everything that you had. And your oh my God, and your group, you know,
Mm.
are you guys producing more music now? Do you have any collaborators that you're doing work with? You know,
Um.
and what is your music side looking like Charles? What are you looking at?
So this is what I'm thinking. I believe that relationships come and go for reasons. I don't believe just because you do a thing or you're in a certain industry that you're gonna meet certain people or do certain things or whatever. I believe that all relationships and every path that's crossed is divine. Like for instance, ours. You know, it was 10 years ago that we met, and we're
Yeah.
still. You know, it feels like we've seen each other last week in person. You know what I mean? Like because we're that close. We're that spiritually um, connected. You
Come
know.
on, DJ, I'm on my podcast.
Um, but um, but yeah. So like I'm gonna use um, that these relationships that has been developed over time and reach out to some of my friends and do like a collaboration project. Um, like artist friends that I have, um, and these names aren't confirmed, but I'm gonna reach out to like a great friend of mine, PJ Morton. Um, I'm gonna reach out to India. This another young lady, Shantae Can, and then some other musician friends of mine. I'm gonna reach out to them and see if they're available or if they even want to collaborate and do some songs for a project. You know, I don't know what it'll be called, but that's what's been kind of on my mind. So in that process, I've just been writing names down of people that I know that I have kindred spirits with that I want to work with and collaborate with as far as I'm concerned. Um, and that's the same thing kind of what we're doing with Ken Copaset, with our group, with our band. Our next project, we've already started recording, and we have about 4 songs, 4 or 5 songs down, um, that we recorded right before everything got really crazy with the pandemic.
Yeah.
But we all, get tested anytime we hang out or get together. It's just the four of us. Like last Monday, we all got together at one of the members' studio, and and he was there mixing this super huge project that you're gonna hear about that I can't talk about right now. But it's
Ooh.
like he got sent the files to be the mixing engineer and record some percussion stuff on this super huge. I'll just say it's a protest song, and some of the biggest female names in R&B and in pop is on this record. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
it was crazy to be in the room and listen to the raw vocals of these artists, and like, so that's a whole nother thing. But
Wait,
we
wait, wait.
we we uh-huh.
You know, after this, after you get through everything, you can tell us
Hmm.
who it is because there's nobody really watching. There's just two
Oh,
people. So it's just four
okay.
of us. So you could
Okay.
tell us, but go on. Go
Oh,
on.
okay, okay. I'll just say it's a project by it's by Janelle Monáe, but she has some huge names attached to it, and I don't know if they released it yet. I can say Janelle Monáe right now because she's released the song before, but she's re-releasing it with these top tier people joining her and collaborating, and they just redid it and remixed it, and it's just you'll hear about it very soon. I think they're releasing it very, very soon. Probably once we start recording it, I'll tell you. But but
Oh my
but
God.
but it's
I'm
gonna
so
be
excited.
it's gonna be huge. I don't know if you heard her song, "Say Her Name," "Say Their Name." It's like a protest song by Janelle
Yep,
Monáe. You heard that song? So
I've
they
heard
they
it.
re, they redid it with other artists, and it's crazy. But yeah. So so back to Ken Copaset, one of the guys that's in the band, he's a mixing engineer as well. He's the percussionist, and he used to play percussion for Janelle Monáe, and he mixes all of her albums. Like he mixed Dirty Computer, and everything that she does. Like he works with her often. But but yeah, as far as the band is concerned, like we have people that we want to reach out to come and sing on our project and feature on the project as well. So that's what we're doing. We're just continuing to create and send ideas to one another. I'll do stuff in my home studio and send it to, Nick. He's the keyboard player and he's the main writer and the producer of the band. And he'll shoot me back his feeling on it, or he'll record something at home and shoot it back to me and ask me what. So we've been doing that kind of thing. But as much as we can, we'll get together and have some face to face time with just the four of us. Yep.
I think that's really beautiful. Like I
Hmm.
love that you are, doing some amazing stuff and and you like you keep pushing your boundaries, and that always makes the difference. A lot of people think that drummers, like what you do, is an easy job, you know
Hmm.
getting into the studio, laying down some tracks, and making somebody look really big. So just explain to maybe even those who have children who are trying to get into drumming, or that they have
Hmm.
beautiful talents. Just give us an idea of what it takes to be an amazing drummer as you are. What are the take homes about being good at your skill, being good at the instruments that you play.
As a drummer, my mentor said something to me a long time ago. My drum mentor, Quentin Baxter. He said, everything that you play loud as a drummer, you have to play it soft, um, with the same intensity, and know how to play to a room, which means no matter how big the stadium is or how small the venue is, you play with the same intensity, the same intent, the same energy, but being able to control your sound, um, sensibility. So, with him telling me that and teaching me that, it's like you have to put yourself in the mind of your part to a body, right? So, drummers, we're known as the heartbeat. So you barely you cannot look at a person and see their heart beating. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you can touch them and you can feel their heart beating. You know what I mean? But and you can see that they're operating, so you know that they're alive, so their heart must be beating. So the point is, like, to be a drummer, you have to take on the mind of being felt and not seen. You know what I mean? Like you create, you set the bed, you keep it moving. You know what I mean? You keep a good pace and just settle in and not worry about um flash. I mean, when it's called for, you can do it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people love to have drum solos, or artists want you to do a drum solo, or that kind of stuff. Be prepared for it, but just take on the mind of like being the heartbeat of the whole body of music
Yeah.
and musician in the center of the band. You know what I mean? Because like just like a heart, if it's beating erratically, like it it can cause cardiac arrest. You know what I mean? So you can cause the whole band to crash if you're not settled and if you're not in a consistent or at a consistent pace. You know, and
Yeah.
and that takes a lot of self-reflection and humbling and self-checking, um and not having the need to be seen as a drummer, because you play the background so much. Like, be okay if you choose to be a drummer. Be okay with being in the background. The drummer is never like seen, like, or we're never like we're not noticed as much as the other. I can't say never. We're not noticed as much as the other band members because we're not in the forefront. We're normally in the background. We play. It looks like we're not doing much, but we're actually holding the whole thing together. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because if we skip a beat, if we do something that's off, like, it's it's a wrap. Especially if you talk about big shows like Beyonce shows where you have Pro Tools, and Pro Tools is a software that you use to keep everybody on count, and like you have dancers and you have all of these people that are being cued from what you do. Like, so if
Yeah.
you see somebody go like do a dance move like pow pow, like you doing pow, pow, you know what I'm saying? You're playing those hits. You hear it a lot.
Yeah.
So you're responsible for doing that and staying there, and especially, for instance, like, say you do a rehearsal, and the band has the rehearsal and they record the rehearsal so that the choreographer can get it. you
Yeah.
have to play it you have to play it the same way you played it on the recording, because the choreographer did her choreography based on what she heard. So
Yeah.
if you do something live and you start going crazy and doing some other stuff, the dancers going to be like, what the heck just happened? You know what I mean? So it's just a sense of discipline, a sense of calm, a sense of just being felt and not seen. That's what I would advise any musician that want to do it on that kind of scale, when they're a professional scale. You just practice and know the chops and know the tricks and all that kind of stuff, so when it's time you can pull it out of your bag. But other than that, just stay in the pocket. Just live there, and just do your
Yeah.
job. That's what I would suggest to
I feel
drummers.
like I feel like what you just said, being the heartbeat, I feel like that can be applied to even everyday life, you know.
Yes.
Like, you need to stay in tune with who you are, and you need to be the drummer, and that comes with a whole, you need to walk to your own beat, to your own is that it? You
Yes.
need to walk to
Yeah.
your own beat. And it just makes a lot of sense, if you're to look at the perspective in life, like if you fall out of tune, if we fall out of tune right now, or fall out of off of our beat and our pace, then everything else around us starts crumbling. Same thing about putting our businesses together,
Yes.
making sure that, you're one heartbeat. I remember there was a movie called The Heartbeats. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah. Mhm.
and I was actually going to say, just when you were talking about, like, nobody thinks that you guys are doing anything, but I do remember when I was listening to, Nirvana growing up, I remember just thinking, man, his drummers, kick ass. And then, come to pass, Dave Navarro, it's Dave Navarro, Foo Fighters, comes
Mhm.
in and then just knocks out the industry and gives us this whole big chunk of his own pie that is just
Mhm.
amazing. Anywho,
Mhm.
yeah, you see, I
Yeah.
digress. I'm just like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He was in the background, but always was very humble. I feel like you're like him. I feel
Wow.
like, you know, you've been in the Nirvanas, and your Foo
Wow.
Fighter time is coming.
Wow.
That's what I think about you, love. So,
Wow.
I'm just
Thank you.
wishing you I'm wishing you so much love, and of course positive vibes. And let me know when that project comes around. Let me know how I can help
Yes,
out. You know.
I definitely will, and I thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, so I know I caught you on the highway, and I know you're dashing somewhere. Do you wanna part with some beautiful words of wisdom right now? Do you wanna say anything to those
Sure,
who are listening and those who will listen later on?
sure. Just stay positive through the pandemic. To the people that are suffering because of what we're going through right now, um, just stay focused on the light. Stay focused on on the light within, the light from above and around, and the light in other people. Um, and just know that this too will end. You know what I mean? This period of struggle, this period of strife, this period of uncertainty, it will end. It has to end. Um, it won't last forever. So what I'm saying is just stay positive, keep your head up, pray. Take time to value the people that are around you, that love you. Um, and that's one thing about this time, like it really revealed um, what's most important in your life. So the things that you've noticed that's most important, and the things that you noticed that you didn't really need, hold on to that. And even as we go through this next year and the years to come, just remember this period and remember all of the things that 2020 really brought clear vision to. You have 2020 vision now, and it didn't come the way that we thought it would come, but we
Yeah.
really have clarity now to move forward. So move forward, do that thing that you wanted to do, start that business that you wanted to start, reconcile those relationships that you wanted to reconcile, build on those friendships, and just be the best version of yourself that you could ever be, and just move forward and be great.
I love you, Charles. I really
I
do.
love you.
I wouldn't have said it any better. I really do like that. Make sure we got the 2020 vision. It was
Yes.
handed to us on a platter. So
Yes.
now that we have it, how are we going to apply it?
Yes.
We got our sight back. We can see very
Yes.
clearly because there's not much that has been blurring our vision. What you see is what
Yes.
you get.
There it
So
is.
I
There it
love it.
is.
All
Love
right.
you.
So
Yes.
I am wishing you the best. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for taking time out on your Friday. I'm so appreciative of
No
every
problem. My
single
pleasure.
minute. And yeah, say hi to India. Tell her, what up, girl? Um,
For sure.
so I said, what up?
What up?
And yeah, in that, and don't say it any other way. You have to say, what up?
What
And
up? I do.
yeah, and honey, Jesus. Yeah, but sending you love. Say hi to the wife and the children.
I
Pass
will.
my
I
love
will.
to Ray Evans wherever he is. I don't know if you guys still vibe and chat.
I just saw him night before last.
Next time you see him, just say Linda has embraced you.
I
She's giving you like a big,
I
cozy,
will.
warm hug.
I will.
But
I will.
take care of yourself and be well. And we're definitely gonna catch up next year and see
Yes.
what you've been up to.
Cool deal. Love you, Linda.
All right.
All right. Talk to
Mwah.
you soon. Mwah.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Well, that was Charles Lamont Garner. I'm so excited that he was with me. I feel very blessed every time I speak with him. He's just absolutely fantastic, and I feel that everybody needs a Charles in their life. Everybody needs to get a slice of that pie. So please subscribe, share, spread the love, because that's what it's all about. Have a beautiful weekend. Stay safe, sanitize, and all those beautiful, great things. Thank you so much to my partners, Nokia. I really appreciate the love that you give me. So much appreciated. And we will see you on Wednesday, next Wednesday, we will be hosting a very cool cat person who's got great things happening on his horizon. So look out for it. We'll be posting it up by Sunday. All right. Have a beautiful week. End.